Another question from the viewer, that how can I increase my vendor list? Because when a job comes in, before you post the job or you start looking in the portals, it's better if you are having a corp position where corp to corp is allowed, you can flash the requirement. And flashing and waiting for a response so that you can have a submission, that's the least that you should expect. The most you should rely on yourself, how you are going to get a submission from your efforts. So anything comes out of this posting, well and good. If not, what? Because you need to strengthen your sourcing tactics, right? So the moment you send it, you have to better go into the portal and find candidates. So first thing would be, do not rely on any of the portals or aware postings or the flashing of the requirements, but jump in what you can do, where you will be selective choosing a candidate which is fit to your requirement. So if at all you have a corp to corp position, I mean the position where the corp to corp is allowed, corp to corp submission is allowed, you definitely can send an email. And moreover, few of the vendors have GC citizens and TN visa people and EADs on their payroll, where they can work with you on a referral basis. So yes, I do suggest for you to send email to all the vendors flashing your requirement. So how you are going to collect it? So first thing is, share in the LinkedIn that you are looking for a vendor who has their own H1, or the people who are reliable, who can deliver when you give a project. And the most important thing is, you need to have a profile, genuine profile in LinkedIn, which shows value, or which is like more stronger when the salesperson is viewing. Okay, if you have a dull dummy kind of profile and the profile pic is not professional, most of the people may not react to your post. But it's better to have a position in your profile and ask for the emails. All right, so once you get the email, send introduction email to the particular salesperson, to the recruiter, asking what are the candidates that person has in their list. So once you get the list, you better call the salesperson and introduce yourself, and you mention that why you are collecting all the emails and what is the purpose, and what kind of candidate that salesperson has in their hot list, and what is that they are expecting that people are coming on their bench. So in that way, first thing is, you are making yourself different than other recruiters, because it's their tidy job, and most of the recruiters don't call the vendors to introduce that this is what I have. They may send an email. You better call the salesperson and let that person know the purpose of your call. And when one particular vendor have multiple technologies in their hot list, so you need to create folders. All right, create folders. If that person has Java, .NET, and business analyst in his payroll, sorry, in the in the payroll or in the marketing list, you create 3 folders of Java, business analyst, and .NET. You keep that particular email ID in 3 different folders. It's better you maintain an Excel sheet where you can just add that person's email ID for preparing a sheet, or maybe in the rows, the .NET vendors, business analyst vendors, or Java vendors. So you can add that person's email ID in 3 different ways. Okay, so, and another thing is, so you can do that for all the technologies, because one vendor will have multiple technologies that the person is marketing. Another thing is, join Google groups. Okay, there are so many Google groups that you can join, like US IT recruiter Google groups and US jobs. There are so many you find, you can get it online. And the third is, in Facebook there are recruiters groups. You can join there as well. There are WhatsApp groups that you can join in the WhatsApp group to show yourself, socialize yourself. And I have created a WhatsApp group. You can join there as well. And whenever you are sourcing a candidate and you see that person is not matching, but the secondary thing you should be doing as you are increasing your vendor list, So you can copy that email and send that to the vendor asking for the hot list or as if you have a requirement. Okay, so these are the ways, few ways where you can increase your vendor list. And it's always better you send your requirement to the vendors who has the similar kind of technology. And having a SAP list, SAP requirement, and you're sending that to the Java and .NET people like blind throw, you are just throwing into the black hole expecting things are coming. That's the bad thing what recruiters should do. That should not do that. All right, so you better have a focused vendor list asking who are on the H1 payroll and who are not OPTs, because that is the primary problem we are having. There are fake resumes and fake experience, fake visas. You need to be attentive and cautious dealing with that vendors. So then you say how you are going to work and how genuine their candidates are, and you talk to the candidates and submit. So this is how is going to take to your next level career up. So whichever the company that you are working, focus on vendors so that will remain with you forever. Okay, the relation matters. It's not the email or what are the submission you're doing. And at the same time, try to give feedback to the vendor frequently. If you submit the candidate, give it in every 2 days, 3 days where you are. If you don't want to submit, let them know you don't want to submit. I understand once you post a requirement, there will be so many resumes will come up. That's another way where you can collect all the email IDs and start introducing yourself. I hope this is useful for you, and do share with other recruiters to increase their vendor list. I am Suman Pachigula on a mission to impact 5 million lives. Bye-bye.